Hello, today I'm going to introduce you a really good book. It's called Show Your Work, and it's written by Austin Kleon. Yeah, and today is episode one, and I would say that this book encourages me a lot and changed my concept about like self promotion and versus like show your work, just show your work behind the scene. So it's a really powerful book that every designer or artist or like a like someone in a really professional field, you can also like share a little bit of what you learn, what's your passion, like every day. Yeah, okay. So there are 10 different ideas inside this book. Okay, first, you don't have to be a genius. I think, yeah, before when I first learned graphic design in our center, and I thought that after graduate from art center, then I will be an expert. I will be awesome. Then I don't need to read any graphic design book. But honestly, I feel that the time that I really dive into graphic design is when the time I graduate, which is really fun. Because before I learned a lot of like theories, like everything is more like really safe under teacher's instruction. And then every day submit my homework. And I find out that after graduate from art center, then I find out all the designs so different. In the real world, there's no like before we used to submit like black and white logo first just to see the shape and slowly dive from theory dive into the reality. But right now, no. Like the client, when you show them, it must be really refined. So everything just like wow, blow my mind. So I started to learn like how to make it fast, how to listen to clients' needs and just get what they want and just give to them and don't bother me, and I just get the money and go away. Yeah, that's my concept. But after so many years, then I come back when I find out that yeah, the theory that I've learned in our center, or the theory that I've learned in like read a lot of different graphic design book after graduate from our center, then I found out that yeah, those theories really help to kind of like organize the kayak, working environment. And sometimes your boss doesn't know what he's doing, and so it's really good to tell them like the whole system, so they will kind of improve, or like you can help the company like have like a more systematic critique work. And it's really helpful if we can keep improving and from like learning a lot of like a really profound ideas, and then after graduate like down to world and start learning a lot of practical skills and like kind of fast, and then work really fast and in order to get proved by client, and then that's it. And after that I start just like coming back and then start redoing things. Then I find out that wow, there's a lot to learn, and all the theories kind of connected to what I've learned. But I mean, yeah, before I thought I was an expert because I graduated from such a prestige, good school. But right now, after reading a lot of book and rethink a lot and talk to a lot of people, then I find out that graphic design is kind of like one of the, like a gear inside this society. And the more I learn, the more I find out that there are so many things that need to be learned. So, yeah, I believe I'm not a genius in graphic design, but I love to share what I've learned. Yeah, and second, think process, not product. Yeah, before I thought that, Yeah, if you need to show your work, that should be like final. So you can post on your like a Twitter or like your Instagram, your Facebook. Because like we are all afraid that, oh, what if my stuff is not good enough, and I feel embarrassed if I post there and no one like it. Sometimes you need to get away from this kind of thoughts, because like we all have something to share. Even I would say like 5 years little kid, they have their things to share. So I would say that this book, this guy told us that, okay, you think about the process, like everything behind the scene, like how you achieve that your masterpiece, not really the final product. Yeah, so the process of you exploring and find out things. So I found that, oh, that's released a lot of my stress, because like if you want me to like have a big theory about like what's branding or what's graphic design, then I don't know what to say. It's like, okay, it's just make things pretty. Now it's more than that. So, share. And right now I'm sharing by reading a lot of book, and I'm forcing myself to read a little bit, like one chapter, and make a super beautiful PowerPoint and one like around 20 or 30 minutes, like little videos to share like more detail about the PPT slides. So I think I am following this routine, and I wish I could. I will not spend you or like waste you any of your time, and I wish that we all get a lot from this. By doing this, I learn a lot, and by like you hearing my show or like look at my PPT, and you can also like get a lot from it. So just win-win situation. Yeah. So, and the fourth, open up your cabinet of curiosities. Yeah, like before I thought, yeah, I have been doing this for a lot, for I would say probably around 6 years, and I kind of feel tired about like people throw me a lot of information and kind of wants me to figure out the whole thing. And then after that, I started read a lot of like a UX UI, and I found out that, oh, actually, the visual or like the graphic design or the branding, everyone need to sit together and discuss. It's not like graphic designer come up with like a amazing idea and force everyone to apply or something. Yeah, it's kind of like alignment with like the boss vision, and like with all the different like a department and different like a developers, and then like other managers like sales, retails, like so on. Everyone needs to sit together and discuss. It's not just like this is, oh, the branding is graphic designer's work and throw it to you, and don't ask me about anything. Then I've already give everything, and I'm not talking to you anymore, and you just give me the final. Yeah, usually like in the industry it's all like that. So like learning a lot of like different areas. It's not different areas close enough, but it's like a part of the innovation process. So I think it's so important for us to kind of contribute a little bit, so we know like it's not like every areas is like a big block. And for example, like UX, what's UX, or like, oh, develop, what's coding, and what's like HTML, and what's that, and nobody knows. I mean, if we can all share a little bit, and like from super easy, like, and then it's so easy to absorb without really think so hard, you just absorb it, and later on you will find out, hey, I grow this part of my brain, yay, I can write a little bit code, or like, wow, I can do WordPress, wow, I can do digital marketing, yeah, I can set up like a Google Analytics just by Google it. Yeah, so like this in this world, like every day, every time, kind of like Google a lot and look up a lot of like tutorials like people share freely, and just like use their 20 minutes of their time, kind of like tell me what they've learned. And it's so good that there are so many like shared information, so I can get up quickly without like trying to learn from, like for example, like some really well known educational online, like a big like a system big company, and you need to subscribe it like $100 or like a $500 or $700 per like a month, like super intense, like they give me like they will give you like a every week they will give you like a 10 big slideshows and 10 big videos, and at the end they will give you like final exam. Yeah, I got like some of them online class. And I find out like, wow, it's so intense and it's a lot, but I learned a lot. But I mean, after subscribing one of them, I switched to just Google what I've encountered. And I find out there are so many people. I'm so glad that share their little bit of experience. So I kind of search from blog and blog, and I figure out how to set up Google Ads, Facebook Ads, just by searching other people's blog. Yeah, and it's just like within 2 weeks, I kind of wrap it up. So it's amazing. I know it's kind of one person spent like 4 years, like college degree, and focus on setting up those and optimize those. But I mean, if everyone can share a little bit, then we can save. We can. Everyone can learn so quick just by learning someone's condensed experience. That's amazing. Yeah. So honestly, I don't even know what I know, but since I mean I've been in this area for a long time, so I mean let's just do it. And if at the beginning you find out that, oh God, Dominic's show looks so easy, or like, oh, she looks like an idiot talking to herself a long time, and I mean I just wanna say that, yeah, let's see how this show can go. And yeah, and I'm still learning. And if you can give me any feedback, then I really appreciate that. And then five, tell good stories. Okay, so um, I believe every advertiser is a good storyteller. Yeah, like how can you advertising or like a good branding, yeah, it's there are so many good stories behind it. Like my hummingbird say, before I post a lot of like the story behind my brand. It's like I came to America on my own when I was 23, and then I met my wonderful coworker in Irvine. Her name is Stephanie, and then her spiritual animal is hummingbird. So I because we were really good friend at that time, but we are still really good friend now. But I mean, during that time, I kind of look up, search hummingbird, and I learned a lot. And during that time, life it's not easy if you are from another country and trying to live here. So I mean, a lot of things happen, and then I learn a lot of spirit from this little bird. Yeah, so the reason why it's called Hummingbird Day is because I think every dog has its day, and then every hummingbird has its day as well. So I believe that little bird can give me a lot of luck. So, and when I was in Irvine, every time when I go out and jogging, when I saw hummingbird, I believe that day I will be lucky. You know, that's a lucky day because I see hummingbird, which is my spiritual animal. Yeah, so that's why if the brand that I start, like my personal brand, it's called Hummingbird, then it can bring me luck, like this little bird, like amazing, like super small, like a super cool little bird. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So let's see the six. The idea six is teach what you know. Yeah, before like a long, long time ago, I think like 3 years ago, I was trying to have a show which is called UX UI. But unfortunately, honestly, I just started learning. So I couldn't really get it. And I was forcing myself to have like talk in front of people. And I feels really awkward. Yeah, because like I don't know a lot to talk. Yeah, and I find out that every time when I read, I don't feel I prepared. And I feel like I am 1,000 times easier than right now. Yeah, so yeah, teach what you know. Right now, honestly, I reread all the branding and graphic design book. And I feel like it's kind of like a float. It's not like forcing, it's a float. So I don't know what you guys think. I know like because this is like open to the public. Maybe you are my teacher. Maybe you are like someone who doesn't know anything about design. Like everyone's, I would say, label is different. But I think for me, I'm part of someone between amateur and someone between amateur and professional, something in between. Yeah. So if you are a beginner, I think there's something that you will get from my stuff. And if you are a professional, like super professional, like Porin, like like Porin has already dead, but I mean like someone who is out there. Yes, so famous, so good. I'm the best in the world. I mean, when you hear my show, I wish I could bring something a little different. Maybe you haven't thought like that little weird tweak. Yeah, I wish I won't waste your time. That's my thinking. Cause I mean, it's like a math problem. Design is like solving a problem. Like two people, there are so many people trying to solve one problem, and everyone has different way. And hope the way that I solve the problem will kind of give you some inspiration, so you can kind of get something from this and not wasting your time. Yeah. Okay, six. Sorry. Seven, don't turn into human spin. Yeah, I was so afraid that my stuff will like no value for anybody. So I was like every episode actually I kick my ass to prepare it. Yeah. I read a lot in order to prepare like at least like 9 little slides. Yeah, and trying to make it like a graphic, pleasant and not hurting your eyes. Yeah, so I am trying not to make all my shows turn into the span, like wasting your time. That's what I'm so afraid. Trying to prepare my best. Yeah. Eight, learn to take a punch. Yeah, I mean, like, before I was trying to do like a lot of different things, like, VR. I love VR. Like, it's just cool. And I love like storytelling. Like, I love like Stephen King's show. It's just like a god. It's like, I mean, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. I don't want to say anything. He just like God. Like, wow, how can you achieve that? And I saw that he had a list of like, you must read those because like this is like a Stephen King recommend, like probably around more than 100 book, like novels. And I was trying to read it, and then I find out like, yeah, it might be really good if I can have like a podcast show like every week or every 2 weeks. And then I force kind of like make myself to read it and kind of go with everyone and kind of like like the show keep going and kind of I keep talking and just you know yeah, so I mean, but right now I stick to what I've learned, and I slowly approach to what I like, and hopefully those transition can be smooth. And I just love something innovative, and I believe those innovative things connect together. So right now let's focus on branding. I don't want to just like jump everywhere. So let's dive into it and see what I can come up with. Yeah, I still don't know. Yeah, let's experiment. Yeah. Okay, 8. Learn, blah, 9. Sell out. Yeah. Just, just trying to, I mean, I don't want to say that advertising or something, but sell out. Just talk it and then talk about it and then post about it, write about it, design about it. Just make a bunch of noise in this world. Yeah. 10. Stick around. Yeah, I mean, like, stick around. I would say that every day I'm reading a lot and trying to force myself at least prepare nice slideshow out of my working time because actually I'm working now, and then I will you know study because like I find out that the study that I learned can apply to my work, my job. And I feel so happy because I am doing like branding marketing and I am having a show about branding. And I find out that I live up my level, just like from like a little small graphic designer trying to make things trying to make things happy, or like trying to make things pretty. I find out that I can kind of look above, from above, and look up the whole system. And I find out that, yeah, my level is kind of lifting up by having those shows, by writing a lot of blogs. So I appreciate that those kind of opportunities for me to learn more and force myself to learn more. Yeah. Okay. Today I talk a lot, right? Okay. So for artists, the great problem to solve is how to get oneself noticed. Yeah, I think sometimes we love to, to be in our little cocoon and doing a lot of things that I like. For example, before I did a blog, it's called Pluto 51A. It's like I believe in Pluto there's a little area called Pluto 51 and it's area A. So I mean it's really complicated. And every day I wrote like around 200 words and I posted in that little unknown blog and I was afraid to follow anyone and I was so afraid to get noticed because I just wanna write it, and after I die I feel like oh my voice letting out, but during that time I don't have any fans, I don't have any follower, I don't follow anyone, I just want to write, just let the things out. But I start figure out that first the motivation is really low because I mean nobody's looking at me. I mean I just write write to make myself happy. So the motivation is really low. That's really true. And the second, it's like what's the point of writing so much like something you feel so great and nobody is looking at it? And since I really like to write some innovative stuff, and I feel like if nobody is reading it, then what's the point of writing, right? But at the same time, I'm still so afraid that, hey, if I show people and people laugh at it and think I'm an idiot, and if like people think it's so absurd and people see like, oh, Dominic, there's like spelling wrong, this should be capital, there's a period, you didn't put it, it's not perfect, you shouldn't put online. So I mean, I'm so scared about criticism from everybody. But now I just think that okay, I have the spirit of amateur. I mean, there's a cool saying later on. I mean, like I think Albert Einstein has a saying which is like, expert is just a well trained dog. I mean, yeah, I think if I think myself an expert, first I was super afraid of change, and I will like close my brain and stop learning. Yeah, and I will feel old, and I'll feel like oh, I've already an expert, I don't need to read anything because I'm already really good. So I mean, the thinking of like going back and listen to the feedback and refresh myself, this really helped me to grow. I mean, like, having the mind setting of amateur is so much better than having a mind setting of an expert. So I mean, I'm still learning, and I don't want to say that I am an expert, but this is kind of my, I don't want to say expertise, but it is because I've already spent so much time in it, and I've already working in this area for a long time, not really long, few years, but I mean it's long enough to to say something which is not really bullshit. Yeah. Okay, so let's see next one. Okay, so sometimes I will feel like, God, I don't want to say anything on my Facebook. Everyone will see it. It's so embarrassed. But you need to be so good and they cannot ignore you. Sometimes I would feel like, yeah, God, client, oh God, everything, everything. I feel like sometimes it's so hard to convince people that let people kind of like focus on what you're saying, or like not really ignore you. So that's why I find out that after starting a blog, I kind of organize all the thoughts that I've been having. And then I organize it, I make beautiful graphic, and I show to my coworker. And the funny thing is that my coworker likes it. I mean, like before when I talk to my coworkers, they kind of like laugh at it. It's like, oh, rah, 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 and they are doing their own thing. But ever since I started my blog, like I would say, like probably a month ago, and I find out that because like in my blog, I kind of read some books and I kind of organize those books and integrate with super little of my little ideas twist, and I make a super beautiful, not super beautiful, but I mean, it's kind of graphic designer level and trying to put it into a slide. And then when they see it, they feel like, wow, I believe when they talk to me, they use their fresh eye. Wow, Downing really knows something. It's not like Downing is just like talking some bullshit. Because yeah, I think that really helps, and I feel good, and cause like I can not only like doing the actual world stuff, like the got polluted by the whole industry, but I can lift up and see the whole system and kind of tell them like, oh, I think we need to all sit together and talk more and solve the problem, rather than just like trying to yell it like, oh, I'm the expert of graphic design. Listen to me. I know visual more than you. You don't know anything. You're just code stuff. Okay. So, I mean, the more you learn, the more your heart is more like amateur, the less complaint you are have toward other people, and less arrogant. Yeah, I think it's so important. But be so good so they can ignore you, which means you need to improve yourself every day. Yeah. Okay. If you just focus on getting really good, people will come to you. Wow, this is so amazing. I didn't know that. Oh, sorry. GOOD is not GODD. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'm amateur. Please forgive me. Yeah. Okay, so if you just focus on getting really good, people will come to you. I mean, before I didn't know that, I was like trying to, like, God, I need some freelance. What should I do? Should I do advertising? Should I like kind of like a sending out tons of resume and showing like, oh, when there's like an interview on the phone that I need to say like, oh, I have a lot of like a million campaign experience, that I graduated from art center, I'm amazing, I'm the best graphic designer, whatever shit. Yeah, right. But every time when I said that, I feel like, God, am I am I that good? I don't know. But I mean, yeah, we always need to be like confident about ourselves. I know that. But I mean, sometimes I feel like I am oversaying during the interview, like, oh, trying to convince people. But once you start convincing, people start doubt that, oh, if you are really good, why you need to convince me so hard? It seems like you are not that good, right? So, in that case, I think it's so important that you put your work in the social media and write a lot of blogs, and then that people read it and they like you and they talk to you, and which this will make everything easier, because like every little of your blog, every little of the work you put up there is a little salesperson that make all the clients come to you. Which you see, like if I post 100 blogs or 100 articles, then that means like 100 salesperson is like online and sell you. Yeah, that's amazing, right? Just spend 20 or 1 hour, make a little virtual salesperson, that little dude, little virtual dude will kind of like help you and be your salesperson that speak for you, like even when you are sleeping and you didn't pay anything. Yeah, actually you pay your time, you pay your wisdom, but once you put out there, it's just out there. It's so good that, yeah, not only organize my thought, but also be my little salesperson to my future client, which is amazing. Okay, you don't really find an audience for your work, they find you. Yeah, I mean, in this world, if people want something, it's like I read Google AdWord, like the theory behind it. It's like every keyword that person type on Google bar, like search bar, there's a pen behind it. So I mean, you see, like for example, like if they want like graphic designer, they just type best graphic designer in LA. Yeah, and if I roll it out of like something related to graphic design, my SEO will res, so they will find me. Yeah, once the client find you and like your work, it's so much easier to talk to them. Yeah, you don't need to oversell because they already know you. Just listen to what they want, and everything just like much easier. So that's why I started to do this and just want to kind of like improve myself and that other people know me. Yeah. Yeah. And then build share into your routine. Right now, I spend 1 hour to share my routine. I know, like, when people see this, it's like, wow, you must spend like more than 4 hours, 5 hours for the video show and the slideshow. No, honestly, no. I read it so fast, and I type it so fast, and I record it. I just after finish designing the slideshow, and I put together and use like a preview and kind of use like a quick time and record it in front of my desk. It doesn't take that long. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, yeah. So I feel like this feels easy. It's not like I need to prepare months. And the final one should be like 2 hours, like a movie lens, like super well, like a lot of like flash, whatever. Nah, it's like every day I spend probably 1 to 2 hours and prepare the little show. And this book I separate into 10 episodes. So, I mean, switch with branding because I'm doing branding as well. So I'm thinking about like kind of like a little change, yeah, a little bit changing, but not like within this area. Because I'm so afraid if I jump out this branding show, then I will go all the way out. I need to, concentrate and, reinforce, stick around with this topic. Yes, that's rock the branding. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't know there's this cool. Okay. Okay, letting others steal from you. Yeah, we always said that. Oh, artists is like learning how to steal from other people. Yeah, we always still like look up the internet and trying to get inspiration from other people. This is the time for you to letting others steal from you. What do you have? What do you have? And that others just get anything out of you. You don't even realize, honestly, I don't even realize what I have. The funny thing is, throughout my career, like my study, I just feel like why when I was in Taiwan nearly every test or like I always get the best grade in Taiwan and I didn't really study a lot, honestly. I know really appreciate my parents give me such a brilliant brain, like high power and super fast learning. Yeah. And I always think about, I don't know, I don't even know what kind of, expertise I have. I just don't know. But I was trying to just organize it and just talk about it. And I believe there's something there. Yeah, there's something there since I prepared so hard and I spent some time devoting. And I really wish the show can be really awesome. Yeah, so yeah, I'm so willing for anybody to steal from me if you can get any inspirations from me. Yeah, before when I was like a student time or even in working time, sometimes I would feel like, God, don't steal from me. I need to like rock it and kind of like work in the secret cocoon and like, come up with super brilliant idea and like let everyone feel like, God, Dominic is so amazing. But right now, I feel like, nah, I'm just a normal person, just like, I mean, I mean, there are so much talented people out there. So, I mean, just talk what I have and help you guys. I don't know, just share. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the meat. Sorry, that's just preface. It's just it's just just some thoughts that I want to share with you inside the book. And the idea one, which is the first, like before that we talk about there's 10 ideas about how to show your work. This is the first. You don't have to be a genius. Yeah. Sometimes I think that, oh God, people out there is like everything looks so professional, especially Lincoln. And previously I saw an article which is like someone thinks that Lincoln's article is less professional. It becomes like a Facebook, like a everyday news feed. Honestly, I think, yeah, this is true. But at the same time, I feel like, wow, LinkedIn becomes so friendly. Because I saw a lot of funny ads, I just couldn't laugh at. And when I saw like something too professional, it's like really objective, like purely theory, no human flash, no emotion. And I will fall asleep just after reading the first paragraph. Yeah, I don't know. Before like the most scary platform that I would put is LinkedIn, cause I mean like I need to be like a one like the best out of the best in order to put any article. But like I just released my branding 101, and I find out people like it. It's funny. It's like before, I remember first article I released. It's like I tried too hard. I went out and kind of like joined a show and trying to like write down every little tiny single word that all the guest speakers speaking about the tech, high tech stuff. And I was trying so hard, take notes and like write super objective, like no emotion. You can not see any Dominic inside it. Just like a plain journalist and trying to report it. And I find out there's only one person like it. I don't want to just make myself like, oh, Dominic, you are seeking for approval from the social media, but honestly, everyone is seeking approval. Come on, you need to admit it. Yeah. So basically, I find out that honestly, I don't like the report. I just wanna be like a LinkedIn article. I just wanna be professional. I wanna just dress like a, like suit and tie and like a carrying like my suitcase, like shiny shoes and like a spiky hair. Like like looks like a business person. Like, Dominic is like super professional and like a really really cooperate. Yeah, but after releasing like a business 101, I found I don't know. I found people like it. I got more likes and more feedbacks and like a more messaging and people encouraging me to keep doing it. I feel amazing that once I kind of integrated and I admit that I'm kind of half halfway to professional, and then I have the spirit of amateur, and I just started. So any feedback is welcome, and I find out everyone likes it. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, just I don't know. I just think that yeah, the first one. Okay, let's talk about the first one. You don't have to be a genius, right? And, okay, so give what you have to someone. It may be better than you dare to think. Yeah, sometimes, honestly, sometimes I think, okay, graphic design is not a big deal, logo design is not a big deal, type of that. Okay, UX right now. Okay, so every time when I read that, I just feel floated, things floated, and not really like, for example, like when I read like graphic design book or like some ideas, I will feel like, oh, it seems like everything I've been seeing like throughout school or like other book or other website seems like nothing really new. But I mean, when I make a little slideshow to people, I find out that God, I learned a lot. I didn't see that little detail. Right now, I see it. And then when I show to people, and I find out that there are some professional people in this like a super professional industry. They kind of like it, and I feel like what I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I mean, I really wish like this laws like little show can kind of like um help people or get even little inspiration. Yeah, give you. Okay, the second. We can stop asking what others can do for us and start asking what can do for others. Yeah, this is so important. I mean, I remember when I was really young, I was like, oh, what can what can people give to me? Like what can my parents give to me? Can my teacher give to me? What can my boss give to me? But right now I'm start thinking like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of like kids thinking like, oh, I need to learn or like I need to suck suck the milk from a cow. I don't know. I don't know why I come up with this weird thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we need to like absorb from other people, but we forget actually we have something to give out. Yeah, just I don't know, I just forget. Kind of like every time when I think about what can I give, I just feel like God, what can I give? I don't even know that. But honestly, let's go back to like what I have. Yeah, I'm a graphic designer and move up to have my own like agency or studio, whatever. I don't even know what's the difference between agency and studio if anyone can give me the answer. I mean, probably company. Yeah. And then I started to write some blog sharing about my experience, and I've done some branding, marketing, and some like projects, some graphic design, and some crowdfunding projects. That's it. But if I kind of cut down which expertise and then kind of like read more book and trying to come up with like a nice slideshow every day, I felt like damn, yeah, I know. Damn, I do know something though. I mean, that's fun though. I mean, yeah, and trying to make everything really simple and just few words. God, it's even harder than writing an essay, honestly. Yeah, it's I mean, just use my way to make a show and then I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anybody oppose my show. I don't know. Maybe my show is too small. It's not worth people to oppose my idea. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. So Yeah, where are we? Okay. Okay, so number three, the artist and curator, the master and the apprentice, and expert and amateur has the ability to contribute something. Yeah, honestly, I think I just feel so good to be amateur. I feel so much there is pressure about like, oh, Dominic, you need to be so good. You need to know everything about graphic design since you're a graphic designer. Nah, not every graphic designer know a lot. I mean, there's tons of things to learn, tons of things happening, tons of new things, combinations, whatever, new fonts. Yeah, it's so hard to learn, even graphic design. I mean, if like me, I even doing marketing and I even doing technology stuff. So, I mean, what I've learned is I would say like 30% of each area. Yeah. And when I'm making the show, I find out that I become 31% of, yeah, I gain little 1% of each area every day. And I find out that, yeah, I mean, life is learning. It's a circle of learning. So, yeah, everyone is his own master and his own apprentice. Everyone is an artist in his own way. Everyone's so different. Everyone's innovative in his own way, in his own area. So has the ability to contribute something. And I totally agree and I believe. Be an amateur. Yeah. Every time when I think I'm an amateur of graphic design, I feel so happy. I don't know. I just don't want to be compared to anybody, and I don't want to just like, oh, Dominic, you need to be an expert. Oh God, what's an expert? What does it mean? What does expert mean? It means like you only know one thing for the whole of your life and you don't know anything else. Is that mean? It's like maybe in the future you will be replaced by AI easily because you only work solo and know one thing, which is so easy to be replaced by a robot. I mean, be an amateur, it feels like yeah, I mean, just do it. Every expert starts from an amateur, right? Nobody's born to be great. I mean, I respect expert, but I mean, if expert has the mindsetting of being an expert and arrogant and stop learning, then I'd rather be an amateur, honestly. Yeah. Okay. Number five. Any of us are amateurs. We don't live long enough to be anything else. Yeah, I mean, let's be an amateurs. Yeah, we cannot be anything. We cannot be math. We cannot be like something super, 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 super like professional. I mean, even Albert Einstein is not good at math, right? I remember I read his book. It's like he couldn't really do the math though, so he passed the math part of his theory to his friends. I mean, yeah, come on. Who can know? Like science so it's so broad. Who can know everything, right? Okay. So 6, amateur. The enthusiast who pursues her work in a spirit of love. Yeah, I mean, I love this kind of like interpretation. I mean, yeah, I just come out of my love and I post it, and I wish someone can kind of like see it and come up with his or her own ideas. Because they have little to lose, amateurs are willing to try anything and share the result. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I view myself as a little hummingbird, and it's so little to lose, it's so little. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not like a super giant company, which if I tweet something wrong or I say something wrong, that the whole country will destroy it the next day. Yeah, I'm not that great. So, I mean, yeah, so I just keep trying and test. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Sometimes amateurs have more to teach us than experts. Wow, this is a really bold statement. I mean, honestly, I don't know what's experts though. I mean, I remember when I was really young, I had a mental doctor, like when I was in high school. And I find out she knew so little. And the reason why she can cure me or she can talk to me just because she got some degree of doctor or something. But when I talk to her, I find out she has tons of bias and tons of theories, and she didn't really process it. So I feel like she's a rigid woman, old woman. Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes like the love is the most important thing that God want us to learn. And love is God. When you feel love, then there's God. So I believe that amateur has more feeling, more like God than experts. You know why? Yeah. I mean, we all know that open-minded, harmony, happy, it's love of doing something. It's kind of like really, really harmony, and it's kind of a status which that God similar to the frequency of God. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not preaching anything, but for me, I I I stopped going to church, but in my heart, there's God live there. I believe God is living my way. Yeah. Something high end, maybe not called Jesus, maybe not called Buddha, maybe called whatever name you believe in. I mean, it's something higher than us, and it's harmony and it's love. And amateur happens to be that status, and experts will be more like arrogant. And I'm separate myself by saying tons of hardcore, like someone normal people will not use. Then I'm an expert. I don't think so. I think if we can open minded and always learning and always not feel enough and always trying to learn more things, then I believe that that kind of amateur can really help the society or really can create something great. Yeah. You can find your voice if you don't use it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes when I was really young, I was taught to have some voices, some personalities, but I don't really use it because I just want to be safe. Because once you have voice and you are so different, you are break the rules, you kind of, wow, out there. Yeah, people start oppose you or trying to say something louder, trying to make you fall back. I mean, yeah, I mean, this kind of feeling is more like, sometimes if you want to change, who is going to be afraid? People who are afraid of you are better than them. So they are start to be afraid, right? Think of that. Why people oppose you? Why? Because they don't like it. Why did they don't like it? Because they are afraid. Why they are afraid? Because they are afraid that you are going to be better than them. Yeah, get it? Yeah. So when you see like people start oppose you, it means you are going to be greater than them. So congratulations. Yeah. Just think of that, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's so scary because we all wanna please other people, right? But just think of that. Just keep rocking and believe what you're doing, and keep your heart like God's like harmony, love, care, kind. Keep that kind of frequency. Just be there, and I believe talk about the things you love. Your voice will follow. Yeah, sometimes like actually my show, it's like I kind of like trying to gather something that I think good. And then I find out that when I work in my job, I start have my voice, which is amazing. Because before I was like, oh God, my boss, what did my boss say? Whatever my clients say, I just make it and make him happy. That's my goal. But when I am doing my show, I see something above it and I start talking to my client. And they feel the same way. And they agree and they change, which I don't know. I just feel good. I feel like wow, I'm solving even higher problem than visual, which I feel good. Yeah, and higher than like because I've been doing like right now my job is helping the client building like Chinese startups to building the U.S. brand in the United States, and then I find out that I started doing a lot of digital marketing, and then I'm doing kind of art director. I'm also doing branding. I'm also doing like sales, whatever, retails, and PR, and social media, whatever. And I find out everything connect together. It's not separate. It's not like, oh, this is your department. And I give the job to you and I will not talk to you. I just give you a paycheck every week. Yeah, it's not like that. Yeah, everything actually connects together. We all need to sit and talk and make sure everyone gets what what should be get. Yeah. Okay. So the last one. Wow, this episode is pretty long. Okay. That's a quote. I am not going to sit there and wait for things to happen. I'm going to make them happen. And if people think I'm idiot, I don't care. I love it. If people think I'm idiot, I don't care. I mean, this is amazing statement. I need to keep this as my, you know, like my desktop photo. If people think I'm idiot, I don't care. I mean, yeah, think of that. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. And it's full of love and passion. I love it. I love idiot. I don't care. Yeah, so yeah, just share this little ideas out of this book. This book is super amazing and I love the type. And I believe it's handwritten. God, this guy is a genius. Okay. So yeah, stay tuned and let's talk about the second idea next time. Okay, bye bye.